Welcome everyone, it's Kelly, and today I'm going to share this Woomer travel palette kit that they sent me. So let's open it up and see what we think. Okay, we've got this clear zip bag that it all comes in, and we've got a little 9-color watercolor palette, a travel brush, looks like some little pieces of watercolor paper here, don't know what kind. It's got a keychain hook, you can hook it on your purse or your keychain, I guess. Let's take a closer look at this little brush. It's pretty tight, so I don't think it's going to come apart or anything. Oh, and look, they even protected the bristles. And it seems to come to a really nice point. Yeah, that's nice and snug. Look at that point. I don't know, I'm more excited about the brush than anything else, honestly. Okay, let's take a look at this little 9-color travel palette. It's not the most elegant packaging I've ever received, but for what this is, it doesn't really need to be. Alright, it comes with a water cup that holds the palette. I'm assuming that's kind of like the portable palette brand one. Let's open it up. You got a couple of little fold out mixing areas here. The little water cup hooks to the pink part of the palette. It hooks on pretty securely, but you're going to have to hold this palette. You can't just set it down, or that water cup is, it's sort of an awkward arrangement. But as long as you hold it, I guess it's okay. I'm going to speed this up a little bit so it's not so tedious. But yeah, I was impressed by really how quickly the colors re-wet. There were only a couple colors that I had problems with, and it's the cobalt blue and actually the lilac is kind of weird too. I can tell it's not a single pigment, it's two colors mixed together because they sort of separate, and it was hard to get a good saturation on it, but I can work with it. I think the cobalt blue is a little sad honestly. I'll try to do a little something with this watercolor paper, but honestly, it's too small to tape down exactly, and it's too little to hold. Somebody who likes to do this is going to enjoy this. It's not my jam, you guys. But the watercolor paper itself seems okay. You get 4 little sheets of it. This is supposed to be a travel palette. I would never use it in the field because that water cup is not enough water. If I'm going to use it, I either want like a real water cup or I'm going to use water brushes. But I don't think I would take this out for plein air painting. I just think it's a little too awkward. So what I would use it for is something like coloring night, when we have a group of people who get together and color once a month. And I might take it for something like that, you know, where you don't have a lot of room, you just want to color. It's very casual. I think this would be really great for kids, especially teenagers or, you know, like 5th and 6th graders. I think it'd be a great little kit for them. The colors are okay. They're, you know, I'm a snob, you guys. I'm used to working with Daniel Smith and, you know, top end watercolors, so I am a snob. Keep that in mind. That's what I'm used to. So I think the colors are not so vibrant. They'd be good for beginners. They're fine for beginners or for real casual use. I was pretty impressed with how easy they are to move. And anyway, I'm just going to let you watch. I sped this up about 5 times just because I don't want it to be too tedious, but I want you to see the whole process. So yeah, I did a little wet on wet here, and I added some orange to the outside of the yellow, and it really blended beautifully. I think it looks nice. Now this lilac is a trip because I can tell that it's more than one pigment and they separate, and it's actually, they're not completely mixed in the little extruded piece of watercolor, because I was getting more pink for part of it and more blue for part of it. And you just have to know that, because it could be really cool to use that with purpose, intentionally, but if you're expecting it to be consistently a mixed color, it is not. So you're gonna have to work with that. I'll tell you what, you guys, this brush is the star of the show. It reminds me of a black velvet brush. The point is pretty darn amazing. I cannot believe this is from such a cheap kit. And the thing is I like a brush with a lot of snap. This is not that. It's a very soft brush. If you're used to that, you will absolutely love this brush. I couldn't believe how precisely I could put the paint down. And I have a pretty steady hand, but I was just really amazed. I think the brush is great. Great, great, great. And so if you get it, I hope your brush is as good as this one. It's quite nice. Now I'm experimenting a little. This is hot press paper, but I went ahead and just put water down, and then I dropped pigment into that, and it's still damp, and I'm going to go ahead and put another layer on. And I was impressed with how well this blended for very inexpensive watercolors. They're not bad, you guys. They're not look, they're not professional watercolors, but they're actually pretty pleasant and fun to paint with, and you can get them pretty vibrant as long as you're willing to layer them and put down as much pigment as you need to until you get it to the desired vibrance. Back on these lilac petals, I'm going to see what happens if I just go over this a little bit and try to even out the tone. You can see what a difference. Some of them are pink, some of them are very like blue violet. I never could get them consistent, but I actually kind of like the look of it. As long as you know what you're working with, you can make it work. Now the ultramarine here was pretty nice. I could get it pretty dark. I was impressed with how it blended and how I was able to get it to look very even, which is kind of hard sometimes with granulating pigments. And keep in mind, I'm working in really small spaces here, because I think that this is what this kit would excel at, and this is what I would use it for. I would use it for painting really small things, coloring books, and the brush, again, I was just so impressed with how much water it held and how predictably it released the water, because that's important for a brush. It's not just how much it will hold, but how evenly you can get it to let the water come off of the brush, because you don't want it to come off all at once and then be dry. So I thought this brush was honestly the absolute star of this kit. All right, I'm going to show you just what I mean about this brush and how fine of a line you can get with it. Now, a lot of times when I'm doing a mandala like this, I might take a watercolor pen and go over it with a, like a watercolor marker to do these lines, because you can get such a, or it might not even be a watercolor one. It might be India ink or something else, or it might even be acrylic ink. But I wanted to test out this brush and see. And look, I could really get fine lines in there, and I was impressed. And you know, it's one thing to go around some of these, but when you're going around in a circle, and I didn't want to turn the sketchbook while I was recording, and I was still able to stay within that line. So you guys, it's impressive. I feel like I keep saying impressive, but I am impressed. This brush comes to such a fine little point. I'm really kind of amazed, and I hope their quality control is good so that everyone who gets a brush gets one this nice. All right, now here's another place where the brush shines here, is I'm able to keep going with this brush, and what little paint is on it, and do this fine little piece here. I think I only had to dip back in maybe 4 times. I just kept going, and that saves time. It's more efficient. It means the paint's going to be more even. I don't know, if I don't keep the watercolor set, I'm definitely keeping this little brush. Okay, so that's one time I dipped in. Okay, this would be like the second time I dipped in. Let's see how far. I can't remember how far I got. Okay, so that was the 3rd dip. But it might have been because I put just a little too much on, so I may have just taken a little off. But look at this. Okay, that's the 4th dip. Yeah, I dipped 4 times. That's it, to go all the way around there. So far I've used all the colors except for the green and the red and the cobalt blue and the black. I'm going to use the black now, and I'm going to use it the way I might use like a Payne's gray. It's a very neutral black. It's a very neutral gray, really, when you use it. It's like a charcoal gray. It doesn't lean blue, or it doesn't lean any color. It's just very neutral. Some might say dead. So some people don't like to use black in their compositions, but I do. I feel like if I'm going to use ink, I can use black watercolor if I want to. So I do. And again, I'm just amazed at really how well this brush performs. And also the watercolor doesn't backflow or anything. It's really easy watercolor to use. So I think it would be excellent for a beginner. And I'm going to be honest, when I saw this set, I was very underwhelmed. I was like, oh, well, I agreed to do it. And I do love little palettes. But I was really put off by the way the water cup attaches, and there's no way to attach the palette to a sketchbook if you're out on location or something like that. So I was a little put off by it. But now that I'm just using it the way I would use it, and not, as a plein air thing. I mean, you could use it as a plein air thing, like if you're sitting at a table, or you have an easel to hold your sketchbook or your paper. But I probably would just take it to coloring night. And for that, I think this is really wonderful. And I really did actually enjoy using it. I was surprised just because of how put off I was by the way it, the palette itself. But now that I've used it, I like it. I hope that makes sense. Okay, here's the final result, and I apologize for the atrocious lighting. I'm working on that. The studio has some very intense lights, and I'm working on a fix round. But in the meantime, you guys, thanks for joining me today. I hope you had fun, and take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Find me here on my website at kellysartthrob.com and on social media at kellysartthrob. Bye-bye.